Dr. AUKOT, how are you?
I'm very well, Eric.
You're well health-wise.
I'm very well. Even mentally, whatever, physically. I thank God.
Aye, are you sure?
Yeah.
You don't have any bile, some extra secretion of bile in your system?
Why would that be the case? I'm only told as I was coming here to shop for an helmet because there are people who are very unhappy with our decision to object to our candidate's nomination. So that's the only worry I have, but it doesn't really bother me because I respect and obey the law. So the law must be followed at all times, regardless of who you are.
A number of things have happened in the last couple of weeks. You'll tell us those things that have happened. Number one, the last time you were here, you were saying that you want to be the next president of Kenya. In fact, you were going to be on the ballot.
Yes.
We have seen the ballot, a copy of the ballot, and the name AUKOT AUKOT is not here.
That's true.
So you'll tell us how come. 2 days ago, you wrote to the chairman of the IEBC, Wafula Chebukati, and the headline of your letter complained on nomination of Raila Amolo Odinga as a presidential candidate.
Absolutely.
You're complaining that IEBC has cleared Raila.
Yes.
Okay.
That he ought not to have been cleared. Because let's start from this, because I think Kenyans must understand the law. A party called Azimio la Umoja, one
Kenya
Alliance, coalition party. Its membership is corporate. So the members of Azimio la Umoja is ODM, NA Kenya, Jubilee, KANU,
DAP Kenya,
and others. Exactly. Now, under the Political Parties Act, only natural persons can be members of a political party. And you must register 1,000 members in a majority of counties, being 24 counties. Meaning each political party must have a threshold. The constitutional threshold is of 24,000 natural persons.
Living persons.
Living persons.
Yes.
Living persons registered as members by the IEBC.
Okay.
Now, I have no problem if Azimio wanted to nominate a candidate, but the candidate cannot be a living person called Raila Amolo Odinga. It can either be ODM, NA Kenya, Wiper, and those people cannot be found in the register of voters by IEBC. Wiper today cannot go to the polling station and vote. City, are we together?
I need you to say that again. Let's start from the
ODM.
Let's start with the political parties
the political
amended act of 2022.
Exactly.
Okay.
The amendment of 2022, the Political Parties Amendment Act of 2022, exempted coalitions from being members. It exempted actually Azimio or coalitions. Now,
It exempted them
from having natural members, living persons.
Let's start with this new law allows a coalition party to be created.
Yes.
And then the new law says a coalition party shall be a creation, shall be formed by individual parties joining.
Yes.
And not individual human beings joining. So it's the membership of a coalition party is political parties. As corporate entities.
Yes.
Okay.
So
up to there we are together.
We are together.
Now,
so
participation in an election.
If a political party, and in this particular case, the Azimio la Umoja Coalition Political Party, has to nominate a member, its member, to run for election, it can only be that corporate body, not a living person.
Because no living person can be a member of a coalition party.
No. It's only political parties. And in this particular case, we're talking about ODM, NA Kenya, KANU, and the rest. So I have no problem if Azimio la Umoja were to nominate a candidate.
I understand that, but I've got to ask you a question. And if we're going, because we're splitting hairs here, so I've got to ask a question that will now make this clearer in my mind. Does the Act explicitly say that it is only parties that can form a coalition, or does it also say that only that it cannot then have living members register as candidates? What does it say?
The law is
does
very,
it say
the law is very
two
explicit.
of those things?
Let me tell you, the law is very explicit. You see, these people make their own bed. They must sleep on that same bed. Because they created this law for their own personal political interest. And the assumption they made was that members of a political party, I mean a coalition political party, in this particular case, Azimio la Umoja, can fill in a candidate who is a living person. The law is explicit. Only political parties can be members of a coalition political party.
That it says.
So if they have to fill in a candidate, again, I say again, it can only be a member of that political coalition party, not a living person. And by the way, let's contrast with the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Kenya Kwanza Alliance actually were clever when they gave William Ruto a UDA certificate because he's a member of UDA. It's also a coalition of parties.
Yeah.
Kenya Kwanza Alliance is a coalition of political parties. But they were clever enough to know that they cannot give William Ruto a certificate of Kenya Kwanza Alliance. They gave him a certificate of UDA. Now, on the other side, the guys who are used to impunity in this country, who do not even read the law, do not understand anything, they believe that Kenya belongs to them, who are foolish enough to give their candidate a certificate called Azimio la Umoja, One Kenya Coalition Party.
I want to take you back a little bit because I was
But are we now together so far?
I understand what you're saying.
Now.
I understand what you're saying now. This process that ends up with the IEBC giving someone the okay to have their name on the ballot box, at some point the registrar of political parties plays a part. What is the process that people walk through to the point where they actually get to the IEBC, to that panel, and then declared?
Yeah.
What is it?
So Siti, let's start it from this way. I have formed a political party.
Yes.
And for my party to be fully registered, I must approach living persons who are registered members, voters in Kenya.
Yes.
Okay? Then I must make sure that my party has garnered at least 1,000 registered members in a majority of countries, which is 24,000.
Yes.
24,000 living persons, registered voters. Okay? And that's why the ORPP, the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, comes in. It's the ORPP that actually gives you the certificate of registration. ORPP works with the IEBC. The IEBC will then verify and say, okay, the party you've given us are its members in our voter register. If it says okay, then you're good to go. Okay? Now, if my political party like Third Way Alliance Kenya nominates me to run for office, the process we went through, in fact, this is very interesting. The process we went through Sunday, first thing I did was to present my papers. There are several checklists. Okay? The second person I appeared before was an officer from ORPP. And that officer went to now the register. I said, EKURU, give me your ID. I gave him my ID. This is my ID. He actually checked. He showed me, okay, you're a registered voter. You're voting in Kapedo Girls Primary. Then we went to the next stage where we issued the declaration. Now, let's come to this Azimio la Umoja coalition.
This ORPP person confirmed that you are a member of
Third Way Alliance Kenya. Yes. He confirmed. His name was Nyongesa.
Okay.
So that was second checklist. Are you actually a member of a political party? Now let's come to the Azimio la Umoja guy. If Nyongesa was, and this is where the mischief is. If ORPP was to be honest, there is no member of Azimio la Umoja coalition political party called Raila Amolo Odinga. The membership will be ODM, Na Kenya, Wiper, but not a living person. Let me tell you, City, these are watu wanajitengezea sheria bado na wakaranga their own law.
You know the reason why I asked that question?
Yes.
Because from what you're saying,
yes,
I get the impression that you're saying the ORPP don't know what they're doing.
Yes.
IEBC don't know what they're doing.
Or they know, but they're deliberately doing it because of this whole issue of impunity, in my view, because they don't follow the law.
Or are we saying that you have presented an interpretation of the law as you understand it, and they have an interpretation that is different from yours?
Yeah, but you see, this is not rocket science, City. the membership of a political party are registered Kenyan voters. It's like you saying today, let a foreigner come here in Kenya and run for president of Kenya. First, you will not be in the register. That's a fact. This is not rocket science, you know. So for you to vote, you to vote CT, you have to be in that voter register.
The bone of contention.
You don't necessarily need to be a member of a political party, but you have to be a registered voter.
The bone of contention here.
And for you to run for office, Eric, you must be nominated by a political party.
That's right.
Yeah?
Right.
And I have no problem with Azimio la Umoja nominating one of its members.
Right.
But who is the member they nominated?
So
is there a part of this law,
Yeah.
and that is where we've arrived at actually, is there a part of this law that allows a coalition party to pick an individual as its flag bearer, as a candidate?
No.
Nowhere in the law.
A political party can only nominate a member.
No. Here in this particular case, we are moving from the previous political parties as we know them to a coalition political party.
Yes.
A coalition political party shall participate in elections.
Yes.
That's the reason why they are forming coalition political parties. We have this law. Now, understanding that a coalition political party can participate in elections,
Yes.
having institutional members, does the law not give them leeway that as a coalition political party,
Let's read the amendment.
one of your members, which is ODM, for example, can nominate, and the others can agree that the ODM member is the flag bearer for purposes of an election.
Eric.
And then it says that if a member of ODM comes, it can be the coalition political party flag bearer.
That can be a convenient interpretation. The law is straight here, very straight and narrow. Only a member of a political party, and in this particular case, a coalition of political parties, can be nominated by that party to run for public office. So, I have no problem. Again, I repeat this. I have no problem with Azimio la Umoja political party nominating its member. Let us know who is that member that they have nominated.
Okay.
And in any case, Eric, we cannot now excuse, conveniently rely on one part of the law and ignore the other. For example, for you to get a certificate of full registration, that's what it's called under the ORP, the Political Parties Act. For you to get a certificate of full registration to be called a political party, you must have 24,000 members living registered by IEBC.
Okay.
So,
why has this become an issue now, EKURU? And the question is then, why have you figured this out now?
No. Not now. I had not figured this out now.
When did this come about? We heard about this 2 days ago that you wrote this letter. When did all of this come about?
Because I could not object to somebody who has not been nominated
You
as
had
a
to wait for the
candidate.
So you
fact.
waited until he was declared a candidate and received his nomination certificate in order to do
You
this?
could
Remember-
not preempt something that has not happened.
No, we are to wait. There's a principle of law called ripeness.
Okay.
So a matter has to be ripe for you to be able to go to court.
Okay.
Now, there's no way I could have gone academically and said, oh, I suspect so-and-so will be nominated. It will be an exercise in futility. So I had to wait for the facts to happen. And remember, we had even actually raised a complaint against Raila, Kalonzo, Mudavadi, and Ruto on early campaigns and using state resources. But you know what they told us? No, but we don't know whether they will run. We don't know whether they will be nominated.
Yeah, they are not.
And some of that prediction actually was true. We thought Kalonzo will run because we had objected. We thought Mudavadi will run. And we had raised the issue about the fact that these are actually public officers. You know? But now, one of our suspicion has come true. That one person called Raila Amolo Odinga is actually been nominated. But the question then, by who? It's not ODM that has nominated Raila Amolo Odinga. It is the...
Let me ask.
By the way, let's
question.
read the law. You know, Eric, I wish you had warned me about this issue. I would have come with a copy of the political parties.
You can
Political
find it
Parties
online.
Act.
You
Yeah.
just go into...
Yeah, but you see, you've done your research. So
What-
tell me where there is an exception.
What I'm looking at is actually several pieces. Now, this is a communique on the Political Parties Act as amended by the political parties
Yes.
with respect to the August 9th general election. This was an advisory issued by the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. It says the Political Parties Act is an act of parliament. Obviously, the office of the registrar wishes to draw the attention of Kenyans to various elements of the act and related issues, and as highlighted below. Now, I want to talk about what we talked about, coalition political parties. A coalition political party, being a political party, is qualified to participate in all the 6 elections and all electoral areas. Registered members of political parties in a coalition political party, subject to nomination rules in coalition agreement, are the only ones eligible to participate in the nomination of candidates of a coalition political party. Right? Then it jumps. We go into, upon the submission of a coalition agreement and subject to fulfilling other requirements under the Political Parties Act, the ORPP is required to issue a coalition political party with a certificate of full registration. The coalition agreement, as read with nomination rules, shall determine development of party lists for allocation of special seats. The coalition agreement, as read with nomination rules, shall determine the elective seats and electoral areas in which the coalition political party shall field candidates. There's a repetition here of election rules of the coalition political party, which has been registered as a party. Do you know what the election rules of Azimio coalition party are? Is it possible that the rules say that parties shall nominate, because we saw that's what they did, parties shall nominate members for consideration as flag bearer.
Yeah.
And parties all agreed. Jubilee stood up and said, they met and they said, we are supporting ODM's choice. Others said the same. And ODM said, we are nominating Raila as our person.
Yeah.
So Azimio then agreed that ODM's choice of Raila is the one that is acceptable to all the members of the coalition political party. The question now, though, is do the nomination rules of Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition political party allow for the nominee of a political party?
So let them come and say these are our rules of nomination. But as far as I know, according to the law, first of all, I mean, do you know the rules of my political party?
No.
You don't know? No. So I don't know about the rules of nomination for Azimio. For me, what I'm interpreting directly is the rule of law. And the rule of law is very clear.
Would it go contrary to the law if the nomination rules allow for an ODM candidate to become the Azimio flag bearer under Azimio?
Well, first of all, let's go to the hierarchy of laws and rules. A rule, a regulation of a political party cannot be superior to a substantive statutory provision. A statutory provision here is very clear that for you to be a political party and to nominate anybody, that person has to be a member of your political party. So a statutory provision here is superior than a regulation of a rule of a political party, whether it's nomination or not. Again, it cannot, even the statutory provision cannot supersede a constitutional provision. And the Constitution also is absolutely clear. Only a living person can run for elective office, not a corporate body.
What I hear you to be saying, Daktari, is that all these legal minds that are in Azimio missed this thing completely. Or they saw it, but didn't give a hoot.
They interpreted it in their own, to suit.
Yeah, well, I'm putting it bluntly, they didn't give a hoot. They decided, this is what we're going to do. So
there'll be no EKURU to figure this out. So, we can just move on.
So it can be either, I mean, City, you could be right, you could be wrong. But let's also not forget that in this country, we are living impunity every day, where people do not think that they can be questioned, where some people think that Kenya belongs to them and only they can be Kenyans. That is part of the problem here. People pass laws. For example, let me give you an example of why impunity in this country is excused. You know, an act of parliament called the Retirement Benefits Act, into bracket, vice president and designated persons. Okay? Now, that law was intentionally created to suit certain individuals. And that law makes these individuals permanent public officers. This is something we also raised in the context of Raila, in the context of Kalonzo, Mudavadi, and who is the other person? And any public officer anyway, who seeks to run for public office. And that's why, through our taxes, we hire an office for them, we hire an accountant for them, we give them some stuff. Every 4 years, we give them motor vehicles, and they are described as advisors to the government in the public office. Okay? Now, this is a law that was actually passed. And if you recall, and this is where we all take this opportunity to educate Kenyans, if you recall, after Raila Kalonzo lost to Uhuru Kenyatta and Ruto, they were told, either you retire
from
or you miss your benefits, pensions. Okay? They refused. Uhuru and Ruto decided you're not going to get even a single penny until the handshake happened. That's when they started getting payments from the Retirement Benefits Act. Okay? I'm giving you a long route so that you can understand the impunity in this country. Now, if you look at the 2021-2022
so
budget.
where's the impunity here?
Wait, I'll come to the...
You're getting there.
I'll get there. I'll get there. If you look at the 2021-2022 budgetary estimate, there is an individual called Raila Odinga who was awarded 98 million Kenya shillings, including 31.6 million to refurbish his houses. I don't know what those houses are. Okay? There is another individual, late now, called Emilio Mwai Kibaki, was given 97 million. There's Kalonzo, there's Mudavadi, and you can read that budget. It's not me making it up. Okay? Now, these laws are made for individuals. It is the same philosophy that's now being applied in the philosophy or lack of it, in this Political Parties Act, that we make laws to suit individual interests. And it's now coming to bite them. And that's also another matter we raised, which people are not asking us, why did we raise this issue about the RBA? Now they are conveniently asking us, EKURU, why are you raising this issue? Is it because you are not qualified? You are disqualified by IEBC?
Sour grapes.
It does not, no. You see,
But where's...
let me ask you.
I still don't get the... You see, the Uhuru and Ruto come in, say, if you don't retire, you don't get the benefits.
Yes.
Handshake comes, benefits which had been rescinded earlier on is reinstated. Okay, so explain to me.
And that makes you now a public officer under the law, under the RBA Act.
Yes, that one I got. Where's the impunity? Is it on the part of those who are in government or on the part of those who were not receiving?
Those who refused to
retire.
Both.
Now receiving.
Both ways.
How?
Because, for example, Uhuru Kenyatta conveniently decides, in 2013, why didn't he pay Raila and Kalonzo their retirement benefits? Yet the law was there, and he remember the debate.
They had a right to expect those dues.
Exactly, by law.
Irrespective of whether they retired, didn't retire.
No. The retirement is very specific, CT. You want to benefit, because listen, there's a specific provision in that act that places you as a public officer and as an advisor to the government.
Yes.
And on the basis of that...
So you cannot hold any other state office.
Exactly. You cannot hold any other state office. And this is the issue that we raised. That is the impunity I'm talking about, where people go to parliament and actually make laws to benefit themselves. And when you point it out, people say, no, you cannot. It's utadu.
Let's take a break. This is interesting. Okay.
No, but I want us to be clear, Eric, that the issues we are raising are real and they are in the law.
They are.
EKURU AUKOT did not make these laws.
They are. And that's why you're going to court, to seek proper interpretation.
We will.
Right? So, Dr. EKURU AUKOT of the Third Way Alliance, he was not qualified by the IEBC to be in the presidential election come August 9th. He'll tell us why. You are Dr. EKURU AUKOT, surely you must have a degree.
Watch out, Eric. 2017.
You
2017, I was clear.
You lied.
Today, I can parade to you over probably 2,000 student Kenya School of Law students that I have taught. Could I have taught law without a degree,
Obviously,
honestly?
Okay.
Come on.
So you'll tell us why you are not
It's a
qualified.
joke.
Hold on.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
It continues. Eric Latif Nduoko, CT Muga, and Dr. EKURU AUKOT from the Third Way Alliance wanted to be on the presidential ballot, is not on the presidential ballot. What happened?
First of all, the presidential ballot has not been printed. Actually, every aspirant has
Still
got
has
2
time.
weeks to appeal.
Okay.
And what we have done is we have requested, because let me go to the reasons why Chebukati allegedly disqualified me. He said that reason number 1, insufficient signatures and no identification documents attached. Okay. we have requested for an audit because we presented signatures from 26 counties. To be more specific, 52,000 signatures from registered voters.
Okay.
In his address to the nation, when
Those
he was
56,000,
Yeah?
there were at least 2,000 from...
Yeah, so you need a minimum of 48,000. We gave 52,000. And you have asked that question. Give us an audit of how you verified our signatures. What are the
From the
shortfalls?
requisite 24 counties.
24 counties. But we went beyond. Actually, we had given 27 counties, only that one of the batches, physically, we could not submit it on time.
Okay.
But we actually gave 26 counties.
Okay.
Now, we have requested formally, give us an audit of how you verified those signatures. Tell us also which are these counties that we fell short of. Okay? Chebukati himself says that we only presented signatures from 23 counties. So he does not acknowledge that we actually gave 26. And you see, when we took these signatures, Eric, it was the basis upon which we actually scheduled, given an appointment to appear before Chebukati on the 5th.
Yep.
So if we had not submitted the requisite number of signatures, there's no way we could have been in the ballot. Particular case is that of Mwangi wa Iria. Mwangi wa Iria could not even be scheduled. Wajakoya was told, you've only presented signatures from 17 counties. You are short of 7 counties. And he was given time to go and regularize.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah? Then there was Mwaura, given the same opportunity. Even he had not met the minimum counties, but he was given time to go and regularize. So one of the questions that we have raised, we have asked Chebukati, why then did you schedule us, give us an appointment if you knew we were short of these signatures? Why do you treat us differently, the same
From the others.
from the others? You know, so that's a question we are asking.
So
And in any case,
from where you sit, you presented the 52,000 signatures accompanied by copies
No.
of IDs.
The only thing I will admit, Chebukati would have told me, EKURU, I'm disqualifying you because you did not submit copies of identity documents. And we have an explanation for that. I don't know whether you saw our objection to that. This is under regulation 18 of the nomination, whatever election rules. Now, we told Chebukati, that's not the Constitution. The Constitution of Kenya, Article 137, is very specific. A candidate for office of the president must only provide 2,000 signatures from a majority of counties. That is 48,000. The rule you are introducing is inferior to the Constitution of Kenya. It's also inferior to the Act of Parliament. So, and this rule, we asked him, this rule was there in 2017 because the rules were passed in April of 2017. You cleared me in 2017 and gave me a certificate dated 28th of May 2017 to run for president of Kenya. What has changed? There's another fact, Eric. Will you today, let me ask you, will you today give somebody a copy of your ID?
Be difficult.
Especially politicians. Today,
One that I support, yes.
yeah? A copy of your ID?
Yes.
Ah, come on, Eric. Let me tell you, I've done raw politics. I don't know
Why
what.
are you asking me that same question?
Okay, City, will you?
Never.
Yeah?
Never.
I mean, let's be
I
honest.
know.
The trust index is pretty low.
Never.
Yes, and let me now give you the practical experience. When we went out there telling people, they told us, no, EKURU will support you because
I'll
of your
give you-
punguza mizigo.
I'll sign, but I'll
Lakini
not
ID
give you-
yangu sikupati. I cannot give you my ID. Uende ufanyie nini? People are even citing examples like today with SIM swap. People lose money overnight. Ati I give you my ID with my signature. See, even my house you will sell. So that is an impractical. And we have done our intel, by the way. No single presidential candidate out there went photocopy. Do you know what that means? For example, I'm going to my native Turkana Landuko, Lokitang, Tudonyang, those sites to collect signatures. It means I will have to walk around with a generator, a photocopier,
Yep.
ink cartridges,
Yep.
and now people are even saying, no, you have to pay for it. 300 to 500. That's what people are
To
asking.
give you my ID.
We said
Per
no.
person, right?
Yes, that is electoral malpractice. And in fact, the
injustice.
cost for you to collect those signatures was coming to about 20 million. 20 million Kenya shillings. So it's an impracticality.
So that was
So are you
that was
saying
one
that
of the reasons.
Chebukati did not say that this was an issue and the reason why he declared your he could not give you the certificate.
Yes.
He did not bring up this issue
Photocopies.
of photocopies.
Yes.
He didn't.
He brought it.
Okay, he did.
And we objected, and we had gone there prepared, and we raised various concerns about this rule. First of all, it's not even the constitutional threshold to begin with. The constitutional threshold is under Article 137, that I can only be a Kenyan citizen, member of a political party, be nominated by a political party, present 48,000 signatures from a majority of counties. And all that we met. I made the constitutional threshold. So you cannot introduce a rule that you've been sitting on for the last 4 years and which you did not apply in
Why
2017.
are you saying that he was sitting on it? I mean, it is gazetted as a rule. So everybody in this country has been sitting on that knowledge.
Yes.
That for elections, this is what.
And we asked the question, why then didn't you apply this rule in 2017? Because it was there from April 2017. The nominations happened in May. Election was in August.
You know what I've always found interesting? When a debate now cascades and centers on legal issues.
Yes.
Every side that presents their case, every case seems very plausible, and you listen and say yes.
Sounds.
But City.
For me, the argument would be complete if I now heard from the other side telling us why it is they've taken this position, and then quoting legal precedent and all the legal jargon that normally follows it. I am not saying what you're saying does not make sense. No. I am simply saying the moment a discussion centers on legality of issues, the argument you present, convincing. But I would like to hear what the other side have to say to see how convincing their argument is. Because, and I think...
Give us a date with the IEBC tomorrow. We come here, we debate again, this same issue.
That, I think, is something we will consider.
Yes.
Won't we, Eric?
Yeah. We're more than happy to appear with them here and we discuss it.
Go to court. Let the court interpret the law.
No, but let's also, Eric, let's also take the opportunity to educate Kenyans. I mean, this is civic education for free.
That's true.
For which I'm not even being paid for.
Yeah.
So let's educate Kenyans
we're not charging you.
on the law. Exactly. But also, to point out the reality, Eric. I mean, you have had CT. You've had I will never give anybody. You see, the only government entity today or institution that have got photocopies of IDs are very few. Either Immigration Department, NTSA, and maybe banks.
And registrar
Let me ask the
And
question.
registrar of persons.
Let me ask you this
But
question.
even registrar of persons does not have a photocopy of your ID.
Let me ask the
have all your
question.
details.
I want to
All
ask
your
this question,
biometrics.
please, if I may.
Yeah.
Who owns my ID?
The government.
The government of Kenya.
Precisely. So when I enter a building and they ask me to leave my ID, should I actually leave them with my ID?
Actually, no. Because let me tell you, with technology today, I think we are still being archaic in the way we do things. Surely, today, I mean, for me, this is one of the issues we raised. I am not a newcomer into the presidential race.
No.
I was there before.
Yep.
In fact, twice.
Yep.
Yeah? Meaning, honestly, you have my details. You cannot be asking me today, degree certificate not certified. Can you imagine? This is one of the second grounds.
Yours.
Yes. That's what Chebukati said
Hold
of
on.
me.
Just hold on.
Yeah?
Meaning what? That you do not have a recognized, or you do not have a certificate
Who's
from a
supposed to
recognized
certify it?
university.
Yeah.
Who's supposed to certify it?
Who certifies this?
Is the person who doubts. Because
You,
for me,
Dr.
I do
EKURU,
not I do not doubt. I swear, Eric, here, I send you this.
Please read it.
But certified.
May
okay.
I read it?
Yes.
Okay. So what it says.
Look at ground number 2.
Ground.
Yeah, by hand.
Okay.
By hand.
Application rejected due to the following reasons: insufficient signatures, no identification documents attached. Number 2, degree certificate not certified.
Yeah.
Actually, mine was certified. I came with a commission of oaths. I mean, I went with my personal lawyer. Yeah, and he even carried the stamp in case there was anything they doubted.
Certified right there.
Yes.
So why would they say it's not certified?
I
if
don't
that
know.
was the
This is a question you need to ask.
Wait.
Chebukati.
Remember, even what Walter was telling us here earlier.
Yeah.
There were more than one word, certified and verified or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But are you supposed to go to the Kenya National Qualifications Authority or the Commission for University Education
Or the institution,
Or the institution
that
You
gave you
attended to
the
give you this
yes.
to first of
certification?
all say that, yes, this is legit, it's from us.
So let's draw another. Okay, finish the third
The
one.
last one is interesting. Bankers check incorrectly addressed.
Oh, wait.
I did not draw the check myself. It is actually my bank, NCBA, that drew the check to IEBC.
So you gave instructions.
Yeah, I gave instructions. I told him, I mean, it's a banker's check, it's not my check.
So what does incorrectly addressed mean?
I don't know.
It means that you address it to Chebukati when you should have been addressing it to
IEBC.
No, the check is addressed to IEBC.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Was it
Okay,
supposed to
yes.
be addressed to IEBC or to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission in full?
Yes, maybe.
You know,
But-
Is that
you know
really
you're the
grounds
lawyer
to
here.
reject it? Seriously speaking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually,
How is that ground? No.
Actually, yes.
Today, can I check address to KPLC be rejected?
If somebody wants to
Yeah.
be granular,
Yeah?
they can.
No, boss, I've written checks to KPLC. They have never been returned.
Because they have an account under KPLC.
Yeah.
Yes.
If IEBC does not
Yes.
have an account under IEBC,
IEBC,
if their account is Independent
But this is my
Electoral and Boundaries
question here,
Commission,
guys. I think we need to be a little bit realistic here.
Yes.
IEBC can be anybody.
Sure,
Can
that's
be innocent
understandable. But here
Enoch
you are, and you
Bosire.
know this, a banker's check is as good as cash.
It's
in
cash.
hand.
It's cash.
So if the address is wrong, and honestly, it is a sticking point. If the address is wrong, should that be something that contributes to you being chucked up the window?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
no,
say, come
cannot be,
on,
man.
fix the
Cannot be,
address. We
cannot
know
be.
you have the money.
This man
fix
wants to
the
be
address.
president.
Yeah.
Next thing, he's going to pay our China debt to USA.
No. Listen, you see, the check can only be
Ukraine.
Oh, you
Nadia, the check can
better.
only be rejected once you present it to the bank, and the bank can then verify it's bank to which account. So this is flimsy, stupid, silly reasons why the Bukati actually
On the
rejected.
check, on the check matter, EKURU, I'm with you. On the check issue, I'm with you. However,
What about certificate?
the
Let's talk about my
The
certificate.
certificate that needed to be verified, your commissioner of oaths was with you.
Yes.
That verified, sure. But then they're also asking.
I even carried the hard copy,
for
the original
education,
copy.
for the education body to say yes, this fella attended our institution. That was that verification done by your good selves.
Did you do
No,
that?
you see,
Do you have anything from the
You
Kenya
see,
National
Eric,
Qualifications Authority? or
I will
the
never.
Commission for
Do,
University
do you
Education?
doubt your certificate? City, do you doubt your certificate?
no.
Listen, in any case, wait, hear
I'm
me.
not the institution required to verify it.
Yes,
I think verification goes outside myself.
myself.
It is an institution, it's an individual, somebody who can authenticate it beyond my own authentication,
Exactly.
that I'm who I say I am, and that these are my names and this certificate actually belongs to me. There's a third party who needs to now go beyond me of verifying
And
it.
we know why.
Yes.
Because we have
But
cases
you
in
see,
court
but you see,
of
Eric,
people who claim.
he who doubts.
Forged or alleged.
He
to
who
have
doubts
forged.
must prove.
Yes, if you are the one who is doubting my degree, I don't have a problem with my degree. I don't doubt my degree. In fact, I even carried the original copies because that's what it says.
So the
In
burden of proof lies on the one who is asking for this verification.
Exactly. It should be IBC to say, okay, Ekuru, did you go to University of Nairobi? Or did you go to Warwick University in the UK? So it's them to ask those questions. You can ask, I can tell you, my name is EKURU AUKOT. It's for you to say, no, you're not EKURU AUKOT, you're not City. So you are the one to go and find out exactly whether this is Eric Latif or who, you know. You can't tell me if I tell you who I am and then you're saying, no, I doubt who you are.
Then you go prove it.
I'll ask you to give me your
So
ID
who
to prove that you
do I
are
go?
you say
Who do
you
I
are.
go to prove that I'm EKURU AUKOT?
So what happens now?
Produce your ID.
Yes,
wait.
An
but
ID
you can
that-
still doubt. You
an
can still
ID,
doubt that the
But
idea I
wait,
produced.
But wait, what does IEBC require of you when you present your documents?
So
What do they require that will satisfy them that this thing is authenticated and verified and approved?
So
Yes,
City,
what?
I went with my original original certificate from the University of Nairobi and from Warwick University. Okay, the law does not require it requires a
It's
minimum
degree, yeah.
degree. I went with that, but I carried all my certificates. Then the certificate I took, the copy, was also certified by a commissioner for oaths and notary public. Okay, I had it with me. So, if Chebukati, in any case, I asked him, but do you know, interestingly, I used the same copy of the certificate that I used in 2017,
which was accepted.
which was accepted.
That was 2017. This is 2022.
Yeah, but you see, but does my certificate change from 2017 to 2022?
No, it doesn't change.
The same.
It's the year that has changed.
Yeah, the year has changed.
But the good thing is,
Yes.
good news here is it's the same IEBC boss.
Exactly.
Okay?
Absolutely.
But clearly he's seeing these things differently now.
But EKURU, I hear you. I mean, through all the things that you've said, one thing that rings very clear to me is that you are obviously putting forth an element of foul play here?
What else can it be? Because honestly, like City has said, I dealt with the same IEBC boss in 2017. The same IEBC boss. We even have images of him handing me the certificate. He never raised any of these issues.
And do you think he's doing this to everybody else as well who's been chucked out?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I mean, let me give you my speculation. Obviously, I've made some enemies politically because of our opposition to the BBI. I suspect that Chebukati has a script on who to admit and who not to admit into the election. To be honest, I think if they had the opportunity, we know that they are pushing for a government project to be the next president. And you know, I know, for example, and I remember I tweeted a couple of days back that in 2007, Raila Amolo Odinga won the vote, but somebody else was declared president of Kenya. I fear the same might happen this year. Somebody else will win the vote, but may not be declared the president.
Early on you said that there is...
For example, look at it, if there is no malice, why would Chebukati then give, for example, someone like Wajakoya an opportunity to go and bring signatures from 8 more counties?
And nobody else.
Mwaura, the same thing. And why not me?
And not AUKOT.
He's definitely treating us different, discriminately. And of course, I mean, what else can it be?
So
what are you doing next?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So what we have done, we are now, we have already filed our complaint to IEBC. We have requested for an audit of how the verification took place. In other words, we are actually trying to exhaust the internal dispute resolution mechanism, which is within the IEBC Act. But of course, even as I speak to you right now, my lawyers are drafting the documents, and definitely will move court if those IDRM mechanisms are not exhausted.
You know, like you earlier on you said that one of the things that is happening with the issues you're bringing, that those who you say are in power and have impunity have their chickens coming home to roost. I get the impression it is you who's having your chickens coming home to roost.
Oh.
Because you say you have enemies. You say you made enemies along the way, and now what you're implying is that they're in a position to actually exert some revenge.
Enemies have ganged up.
Yes.
Well, it's possible. It's possible people are now, hitting on me because of maybe what our stand. I mean, I honestly, I don't make any apologies. I will defend the rule of law anytime, regardless of who you are. I don't care who you are.
What if the court finds that the IEBC and all the government bodies that deal with elections were right and you're wrong? What will you do?
It's okay. I mean, it will be a finding of the court. It will be a finding of court. Doesn't mean that I don't have a stand, City. I have a view, and my view may not be necessarily yours. I mean, let's have a divergence of opinions, but it doesn't mean today. I mean, and City, I want people to criticize me on the issues that I'm raising, and let's actually be, fair enough. Let's debate them fairly. And the issues that I'm raising, I mean, look, to doubt my degree, that because it's an administrative issue. You could easily tell me, EKURU, go and verify this certificate, come back. This check is wrongly addressed. Can you correct it?
Right.
It's as simple as that. It's an administrative issue. You cannot take away a whole constitutional right. Yeah?
It's not fundamentally wrong.
Yeah, it's not. What prejudice will Chebukati have suffered if he just told me, I think we need your certificate verified? Or even themselves calling Commission for University Education to say, okay, we have our certificate here. Can you confirm whether EKURU AUKOT attended the University of Nairobi or not?
EKURU,
surely.
all the best to the next.
Yeah, but honestly, I think we need to expose this unfairness. I mean, this mistreatment of other candidates.
And that's why we are raising these issues and allowing having this conversation here. Thank you for joining us today. And
hopefully you'll invite IBC to come and explain some of these.
Oh yes,
please.
That's definitely
put them on the spot. I mean, is this really is it fair? You cleared me 2017. Today you're giving a flimsy reason why you're not clearing me. Surely, what else could it be?
That's true.
Malice.